Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 63 here on season number 2. And today we are getting into what is Fundrise. This question comes from Al L, or maybe it's just All. He asks and says, "Hey coach, I would love to see a video on your input on Fundrise. Basically, to be used for investing in the long term. Thanks." First of all, these videos are meant for educational purposes only and not meant to be taken as financial advice. You are responsible for your own assets and to protect them, so always, please, make sure to do your own research. Basically, Fundrise is a investing platform. To sum it all up, is where you can invest your money into REITs instead of what most people where they would invest into equities and bonds. This is where you can invest into specifically real estate. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the page. I got a lot of stuff to cover, so hopefully I can get this done really quickly. But basically a whole new way to invest in real estate. They're supposed to cut costs because you have privately access to some REITs or real estate, and then you can also save up to 40% of the cost, and we'll get into that real quickly. Also, through the investments, you can invest into like Seattle's apartment complexes, DC, LA, San Diego, all kinds of different places. They got pretty good ratings as far as the Google stores go, or the app stores go, so that's positive. And then we'll also get into their different portfolios that they have as well. You do have to have a $500 minimum to start, which is their lowest ever, which would be their reducing or starting profile. I currently don't use Fundrise, so this is all information that I've grabbed from their website or third-party places. And then you can also upgrade to an advanced plan, which I believe you got to have over $1,000 to be in an advance. I was looking at what's better in Vanguard REIT versus a other REIT, which I assume that Fundrise is actually better as far as profit, but it's also a private REIT, and I'll get into that specifically what that means as well. As far as can you redeem shares or whatever, we will get into that in a little bit. That's probably my biggest complaint about private REITs. Here's the starter profile. You get your 90-day money-back guarantee, and then you can upgrade, like I said, once you reach $1,000. How everything works out, obviously, Fundrise, they're going to paint themselves as being the best for the best of your money, which also means that it's the most risky. Here's some investment properties, Atlanta, Georgia, Orlando, Florida, Arlington, Virginia, and then they have 30 other ones as well. What am I investing in? All this kind of stuff. What are the fees, which I believe are going to be on another page. This is kind of just goes over what the difference between investing in REITs in the public market, which would be NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, or the private market. And so what they're getting at is that because they offer private REITs or real estate investment trusts, you should get a better return than investing into the public market. At least that's what they say. They've been saying over the history of growth. It's technology driven, so they do have a algorithm or whatever to show where your money should be put, and then also you can reinvest the dividends, which I do like about this platform. Overall, as in investing, this is basically the return. So the supplemental income obviously would be the least amount because that's basically just trying to supplement your income. Then this one's going to be the most balanced investing, so supplemental income plus growth, and then the last one will just be growth, which obviously is going to give you the highest return, or should give you the highest return. This can potentially not happen, so that's just to keep in mind. That's just what they've expected. As far as their Facebook page goes, they're super strong as far as social media presence, so I do like that. They got about 54,000 people that follow them, which is good, and they are posting regularly on their social media platforms. Social media as regards to Facebook and Twitter. They don't have an Instagram account, but they do have a LinkedIn account, so I like that. As far as what is an REIT is basically a privately held state investment trust. With the ones that are publicly traded on the market, you can get in and get in and out of an REIT basically whenever you want. For instance, on Stash, they have a real estate tycoon, which is an ETF, the REIT, and so you can buy that one day and then you could sell it the next day, or you could sell it later that day depending on how it does. That's the nice thing about REITs that are on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. However, with REITs, those are privately held, and that was my concern about how long will it take me to sell my portion or my shares of that investment. And we will go ahead and get into that here in just a second. The facts sheet addresses it, which is right here. You can redeem your shares, so you can sell off your shares. You just need a 60-day waiting period after submitting the redemption request. At the price it is today, it could differ in 60 days, so you have to take that into consideration when you're selling off your shares. I do like the fact, like I was saying, they do have a DRIP program, so dividend reinvestment program, which is really nice. And overall, like for me, it's just not something that I would be interested in because I do diversify each one of my portfolios into REITs already. And so this is kind of what it's getting at with regards to supplemental income and that kind of thing. So this would be supplemental income, which would be 73% debt, 27% equity. So these would be loans that they're giving businesses to develop. And then this would be equity. So for instance, leases on properties that they already own. And then as you scroll down, or as you get to the other portfolios, it's going to be 60-40 on the like balanced one. And then on the last one, it's going to be 40-60. So this one's going to be more seeking growth and equity and not so much loan and debt, which will help boost that investment, or should boost that investment. So as far as will I use this, for me, it's just not for me. It's not something that I really am interested in. On there, they predict that you'll get like an 11% growth. Their fee is 1% a year, which is not, honestly, is not that high. But for me, it's just not something that I really like to look into. Robinhood, I can do it for free, and then I can buy REITs and hedge myself with some REITs on my portfolio, along with adding bonds and equities to it. Same thing on Stash, and same thing on Acorn. For me, it's not something that I really need to more overly expose myself to. And so right now, I'm going to stay out of Fundrise. However, I think long-term real estate is something that is good to look at long-term. They do have pretty good growth, and they do, when it runs pretty quickly. So right now it's real shaky because of talks about the interest rate increase and what that entails. But definitely long-term, I could see value in adding Fundrise. But for me, it's just not for me right now, and probably not for me in the next 5 years. For that reason, I'm not looking to invest into it. Anyways, we'll leave it right there. Let's go ahead and dive into the question of the day, which is, what's the coldest you've ever been? And for me, it was one time in Lake Erie, Pennsylvania. I was traveling with my lacrosse team that I played for when I was playing over at GCU. And we traveled to Lake Erie, Pennsylvania to play a game. We traveled from Phoenix, Arizona, which was like 90 degrees, to Lake Erie, Pennsylvania, which was snowing. And I was wearing literally shorts and flip-flops because you want to travel comfortably, let's be honest. So I was freezing my toesies off. Anyways, like I was saying, if you have a question regarding Stash, Acorns, Robinhood, as well as general investing advice, business, Etsy, coaching, post those questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe up here and check out my Stash recap February edition. Check out this other video right here. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.